Good morning, everybody. I'm Pete Elman, and I'm here to talk about my course in the fall. This is a course that I have taught before, but I'm very excited to teach it again. The title of the course is Sweet Harmony, Great Vocal Groups, 1950 to 1980. In the words of the pride of Oakland's Pointer Sisters, who we will be covering in this fall course, I am so excited about this upcoming course on American music. Now, one could say that the story of popular music is one of great singers, but it's also the story of great vocal groups. In this course, we'll take a trip through 6 different eras and genres. We will look at and listen to, in depth, 24 legendary singing groups, from the days of doo-wop through the pop era. Stars whose power, style, and passion gave us unforgettable records. We'll also listen and watch several songs each class from other singing groups who will be remembered for that one great song, that huge hit, which still resonates to this day. Now, with a nod to choral harmonies and unique vocal arrangements and unforgettable trademark songs, this fun course promises to be much more than a nostalgic trip down memory lane. Now, a couple of things to mention up front about the content of this course. This course excludes the array of incredible Motown groups, the singing groups. They are all covered in my Motown course, which many of you have seen and I will continue to be teaching in the future. It also excludes groups that play their instruments. In other words, there are no bands covered in this course, strictly vocal groups. Now, live is, as always, the best way to experience my courses. So we'll be taking advantage of the wonderful stage and sound system at the Freight. I will be demonstrating musical styles, harmonies, vocal arrangements, chord progressions, and rhythms with my piano and sometimes my guitar. And we'll have some special guests, as always, helping me perform songs live from that golden era. Let's get into it. So what happens in week 1? We have 6 weeks. 1950 to 1960, gospel and doo-wop. I'm going to talk about the legendary gospel group, the Soul Stirrers, of which Sam Cooke came from, the Dixie Hummingbirds, the Flamencos, a very underrated group, and the legendary Platters. And at the end of that particular week 1 class will be a special tribute to the Jordanaires, that wonderful 4-man male singing background group who sang on dozens of huge hits like Elvis and Patsy Cline and Rick Nelson. Week 2, we get into the 50s and 60s R&B and early rock and roll groups. Little Anthony and the Imperials, the Coasters with their hilarious records pretty much composed and produced by Lieber and Stoller, Dion and the Belmonts, and his wonderful period of doo-wop songs in the late 50s and 60s. And I talk a little bit about Dion DiMucci and his solo career. Week 3, the great female pop rock singing groups, the Ronettes, the Shirelles, the underrated Crystals, who had some great records, and the Shangri-Las. Week 4, male pop rock groups of the 1960s, the Drifters, the iconic classic vocal group of that period, the Four Seasons, the Jersey Boys, the Righteous Brothers, Jay and the Americans, and a couple of others. Week 5, that's when I get into 60s and 70s and some 80s pop R&B groups that were either just women or mixed gender groups. The Pointer Sisters, who I mentioned before from Oakland, the mixed gender groups, the Mamas and Papas, the Fifth Dimension, and the legendary Staple Singers. The final week, week 6, 1960s and 70s pop rock R&B male groups. I talk a lot about the Philadelphia International Sound. I concentrate on 4 groups, the Impressions, who are actually out of Chicago, and then the Philly International groups, the OJs, the Spinners, and the Stylistics. So there you have it, folks. This is a really fun course, and I think you all get a lot out of it. And I hope to see you on Wednesday afternoon, October 1st, and together we'll make sweet harmony. Thank you.